And one of their top players left the club this week. How will they respond here at the Willows against the Reds tonight? Salford are top of the table by just the 1 point from Halifax. Unbeaten Salford, but they drew their last game against the Widnes Vikings. Whitehaven down in 7th, but looking upwards after picking up a bit of form in their last 2 games. Well, after their Challenge Cup exit at the weekend, the Salford coach Sean McRae makes just one change, with Andy Ballard dropped, Daley Williams selected in his place, so it's Carl Fitzpatrick at fullback, Williams, Stuart Littler, Matt Gardner, Paul White, Robbie Paul and Richard Myler. In the forwards, Philip Luluai, Malcolm Alker, Craig Stapleton, Ian Sibbett, Luke Adamson and Jordan Turner. And on the bench, Stephen Ratchford, Lee Jewett, Andrew Brocklehurst and Paul Heighton. The coach is Sean McRae. Whitehaven with Gary Broadbent at full-back, Craig Calvert, Rob Jackson, Saya Markisi, Ade Adebisi, Carl Rudd and Leroy Joe. In the forwards, Ryan McDonald, Carl Seiss, Mark Jackson, Spencer Miller, Howard Hill and Scott McAvoy. On the bench, Graham Mattinson, Andy Gorski, signed yesterday from Halifax, David Fatialofa and Carl Edmondson. The coach is Jed Stokes. There is the Salford coach Sean McRae, looking for his side to respond after the disappointment of going out of the Challenge Cup to Wakefield and drawing against Widnes in the game prior to that. So they're looking for a victory here tonight, and on paper they're fancied to achieve that. But Whitehaven have picked up a bit of form in their last couple of games. As I mentioned, they had a terrible start to the year, with Paul Crary leaving the club on health grounds, Gerard Stokes then appointed in his place, and just this week Richard Fletcher leaving Gerard Stokes' club. There is the Haven coach and signing for Widnes, and Andy Gorski recruited yesterday and signed at the last minute really. He trained with the side last night and he is in that Whitehaven lineup as they take the field in their customary chocolate, blue and gold kit. They've never won at Salford in 35 visits. Terry O'Connor alongside me, and you, I think, have picked out the halfbacks. I mean, the forwards are going to go at it hammer and tongs. Halfbacks important.
The forwards have, in Carl Rudd at Whitehaven, have got everything comes good off him, but he's playing against the master, isn't he, in Robbie Paul. He knows what's needed on this pitch. But you talk about the forwards, Bill, I think that it's up front in Ryan McDonald and Mark Jackson, two of the biggest aggressive forwards in this National League division. And how are they going to cope with them, Barry?
I think what Ryan McDonald and Mark Jackson will do, they'll look to instigate something, get under the skins of the Whitehaven players, get under the skins of the Salford players, should I say, and just try to put them off the game. Philip Lulai, Craig Stapleton, two tradesmen, but they're very, very tough.
Instigate something, is that a technical term for start something?
It is. An instigator it'll all become very, very clear.
You mean referee Robert Hicks might have his work cut out?
In for a busy night, and as well for Whitehaven, Carl Edmondson. He does like to get on and upset the opposition.
Yeah, there are some big figures in this Whitehaven side. Carl Edmondson, a recent recruit as well. He was born in Carlisle, but spent the last few years living in New Zealand. Look out for some fireworks from him, and it's Whitehaven who'll get us underway. And it's important they make a strong start here, because Salford have the potential to canter away with this. They have done that against opponents this season. Then again, they failed to do that against the Widnes Vikings, and they weren't able to compete with the Super League experience of the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats last weekend.
They just look to base the game on speed, Salford. As you'll see, they won't try and take the Whitehaven forwards on up the middle. They'll try and get outside the C defender and try and look to use as much width as they can.
Luluai taking the ball up, had Jordan Turner on his shoulder, one of the very promising young players that they've got here at Salford. Turner and Richie Myler, who I see linked with Hull FC this week, but they've been linked with just about every halfback around. And Hull, I think, knocking that one on the head. But they're not the only club that had taken notice of the 17-year-old prodigy wearing number 7 for the Salford City Reds.
A good first set from Salford there, well over the halfway. Good quick play the ball from Stapleton. And Malcolm Alker gets the kick in, putting the pressure on Whitehaven. It was very noticeable when the two teams warmed up that Whitehaven were out for a good 20 minutes more than Salford. Of course, they've travelled down today. Some of the players having to have half a day off work.
Yeah, Jed Stokes having to check that people were available, able to get off work today. And they were, courtesy of their employers. It's Whitehaven in possession with Carl Seiss, a little kick down the middle. There's Paul White to field the ball, and White trying to go round Adi Adebisi, but no joy there.
A good battle going to be between those two players. Very explosive, lots of speed on that left or right hand side.
Well, never mind Dwayne Chambers. I reckon we got some of the fastest guys in the game out there today, because Craig Calvert is on one wing. You've got Adi Adebisi on this wing for Haven. Calvert, of course, a few years ago, the second fastest man in the game behind Darren Albert. And Paul White is no slouch either, so there is some pace out there.
There is probably the difference between the wingers that you've just mentioned is they like to really stand on the touchlines, the Whitehaven pair, but Paul White, he likes to get in the middle of the pitch and take on the big Whitehaven forwards.
It's the big forwards doing the work at the moment, with Alka, who's tackled, and then the ball back with Myler. Myler straight down the middle to the welcoming arms of Gary Broadbent, once a very popular figure with this Salford club, making over 130 appearances for them. And the first penalty of the game goes against Salford.
Yeah, the Salford side virtually perfect, apart from the kick. They're trying to buy an extra second, and that's illegal according to the referee. Can't do that, Luke Adamson.
Boot of Mark Jackson leathers that one out of the ground and into the back streets of Salford. And it's Haven in possession. Richard Fletcher, of course, leaving the club this week, and a very creative presence on the field, and they're going to miss him, aren't they?
Yeah, he was definitely the big go-to player on this right-hand side.
Oh, dear. Well, Carl Seiss wasn't expecting that when it came popping out the back door from Jackson.
And you've always got to be aware when this lad's got the ball, he's always looking to offload it. The power that he's got, and just to free his hand there, he's got to keep his options open. Look what his prop forward's doing in Jackson.
That's Matt Jackson's trademark, that. He gets the ball away in impossible situations, but normally starts the game on the bench. Today, on the run on side. Whitehaven need to take advantage of those things.
Matt Gardner tackled. Now here's Ian Sibbett. Sibbett just over the halfway line for the Salford City Reds. Robbie Paul directing operations. He's spotted something. He's trying to engineer something. Philip Luluai standing and handing that ball off to Alka.
10 metres, stand.
Robbie Paul for Myler. Myler, little step and great offload. Got the ball away as he was going to ground. Fitzpatrick he was. Jordan Turner now taking them on, his opposite number, McAvoy with the tackle for Haven. Here is Robbie Paul now. Robbie Paul with a little stab kick through. Across comes Adi Adebisi and gathers that ball, but he's trapped. He won't get out of jail.
That was a perfect kick from Robbie Paul. The chase fully respected the kick and trapped the Whitehaven player behind the line, putting the pressure on them. Again, good forward momentum, delicate little kick here. Very difficult to judge that when you're on the back line that's got to catch it. Robbie Paul showing his experience.
So Haven under pressure as Littler runs the ball back at them. One of the several Irish internationals out there on the field, and of course looking ahead to a World Cup involvement later in the year.
Robbie Paul already instrumental out here. Bill on the left-hand side for Salford, looking to organise his troops out here.
It's Myler organising things at the moment, and then popping the ball up sweetly into the arms of Stapleton. I think Stapleton, if he had the belief there, he could have gone all the way, but he just checked for a moment. It is Robbie Paul now. Paul out wide and out of the playing area, firing the pass, and Paul White not able to take that one.
He had the players that were probably there. He took the ball to the line, just as you see Robbie Paul there, just changes his line of run. The wrong option there.
I think because there were too many players, too many players, not sure which ball or which player it was who was supposed to catch the ball. But if I were Whitehaven, I'd be worried about the speed of the play of the ball with Salford. They're the first up off the ground, playing the ball on every single play.
Scott McAvoy is down in back play, just having a bit of treatment for a bang on the nose. The first of the game. I suspect there might be a bit more blood spilt in the cause of their colours here tonight. So it's Whitehaven in possession, but on their own 10-metre line, and Gary Broadbent trying to work them away from the danger zone. The tackle by Luke Adamson. Here's Simon Kesey, a big, strong running Tongan international.
Yeah, they really need to control this ball. As you see, the Salford players flying out the line, looking to make a big impact to dislodge the ball. Been raining quite heavily and the pitch quite heavy underfoot, although it doesn't look it.
Haven in possession. Well, a new coaching setup at Whitehaven, as we've said. Gerard Stokes coming in after Paul Crary stepped down from the job, and David Seeds promoted to assistant coach. And what a talismanic figure he is for the club as well. Long-serving, record try-scoring, local hero really, David Seeds, and bringing a great knowledge of back play to the club, and that's
fantastic
important.
To see clubs take advantage of players who've spent time, know the system, know the culture of the club, and Seeds definitely fits that bill. Lovely to see him kept in the game, and he'll influence some of the younger players, forwards and backs.
Well, it's Salford in possession. Robbie Paul returning, of course, recently after back surgery and stepping his way through a maze of tackles there. Almost got a bang on the head, I think.
I think Carl Seiss stating his intent. Another bad kick.
Again, Richie Miley needs to be finding the flow, doesn't he? Last week, Sean McRae wasn't very happy when they took on the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. His kicking game was probably poor, but he probably had a really big game from the way that he takes the ball to the line, takes on the opposition. He's got to start finding the flow with them kicks.
That was good work from Simon Kesey, and then he found Broadbent.
Maybe we're doing Gary Broadbent a disservice. He's well known for his judgment. Ryan McDonald, butch to his mates, looking for that offload again. Says, sorry, mate.
Didn't need to do that. He was absolutely pinned and surrounded. There was no hope of finding anybody.
To be fair, he was looking for the offload, but Sibby just touched it with his fingers as well. So Ryan McDonald, he's had a big start to the season for them. He looks a lot fitter this year. He's kept his discipline as well.
It's early days, Terry.
Do you know what though, Bill? He's only given 3 penalties away all year.
Well, talking of penalties, there's another one conceded. Just interference there.
That's the difference
Spencer Miller is penalised.
That's the difference between a legs tackle and a ball and all tackle. You're struggling to get dominance on a legs tackle. You need your mates in to help you.
So the penalty allows Salford to threaten this Whitehaven line now. Still waiting for the first points of the game as Philip Luluai drives into the heart of the Haven defence.
They're stacked up again on the left-hand side, Bill.
Robbie Paul takes the tackle on the 10 metres line. Alka, Luluai again. He's seen plenty of possession early on.
Got a good engine, Luluai, for a front row forward.
Little stab kick from Myler, just too strong. Broadbent saw that one all the way.
Just too much weight on that kick.
Again, maybe really needs to start looking to putting the ball across the pitch instead of kicking it straight ahead of him. It's always a tough kick to probably weight the kick there, isn't it, Barry? You've got to try and look to kick it along the other side, kick it along on the outside to Stuart Little, give him a bit of kick pressure, let him put some pressure and try and force another set of 6.
I've said it a few times, a kick on the line is better too short than too long.
These sides still testing each other out, really. Whitehaven have hardly threatened the Salford half. They've certainly been doing it, most of the defending, but they've done it successfully so far.
It's just a bit of the arm wrestle, isn't it, Bill? That Whitehaven are just quite content in playing the ball, taking up the middle, tick-tacking, attacking the same blokes, whereas you look at the Salford team, they're not afraid to play football. Hey, and why wouldn't you be afraid to play football with the team that they've got out?
McDonald took that pass from Seiss. It looked suspiciously forward, certainly in the eyes of the Reds fanatics over there on that popular side. It's on the last tackle. Rudd flings a pass out wide. And they could be in at the corner here. Oh, that's a great tackle. Adebisi was heading for the line.
He's adjudged a forward pack, but heroic defence from the Salford team. That's what their try line means to them.
And it was Robbie Paul coming
again,
across, defying the years.
The old man to the rescue.
Well, that was the first threat from Whitehaven, and it gives them hope that they can pierce this Salford defence. Robbie Paul, 32 years of age, still going strong. Brother Henry, of course, changing codes this week.
Hold. Stand.
Cheeky.
Hands in.
Gardner
No, you're just messing
was trying to get to his feet to play the ball. The penalty conceded.
No worries.
You've got to be very disciplined when you play against a team like Salford. Can't give cheap penalties away, and this is really where you want to keep the Salford team down. Make them try and bring the ball up, try and force the error with some big impacts.
Oh, and that's big impact from Sibbett, yeah. Carl Rudd felt that one.
He's picked him straight out and run straight at him.
Stapleton now.
Here's where we see the Salford team's movement. Bash.
Hold, go.
Another one in the shape of Luluai, trampling over the figure of Carl Seiss there. Alka.
As I say, it's the movement. It's not just one-up carries. It's not mindless passing. Well-drilled outfit, Salford side.
Robbie Paul fires the ball into the arms of Luluai. McDonald with a good tackle, but clinging onto him. That's the 5th tackle. Can Whitehaven withstand another assault? Myler, this time they run it. Littler stabs the kick in, and that one is too strong as well. Good defence from Haven, right in the faces.
Fantastic defence from the Whitehaven side. Again, both sides showing the very line proud.
And Daly Williams, I think, has got a bang there on the back of the head as he went for that ball.
2 feet, Robbie.
And the blood flowing.
A little bit of a bang on his bonds for his troubles there, but he'd gladly swap it for a try, I think.
Phil, you've got your hands in there. You could have stood
And
up
Whitehaven get the penalty. Just a hand in there.
Again,
And
Bill,
they play
both of these teams seem to be letting the others off when you want to be defending in the certain areas that you want to be defending. And again, just soft little penalties. It don't hurt anybody. Just let him off the hook. And all you can see now is Whitehaven from bringing the ball out on their own line. They're up in the Salford 30.
Here goes the Tongan international Saya Makisi. 6'2", 16 stone. That was forward.
Leroy Joe. I think Whitehaven setting up in a certain position in the field.
Let's get his hands out, guys. Let's neat it up.
And it's Spencer Miller who, perhaps thinking he's the dummy runner, gets the ball passed to him. Very experienced player, Leroy Joe, a very strong, nuggety character. Ball in hand is very, very dangerous.
Ball in. Out. Tackle 1. 10 metres. Go.
Salford taking the ball away from their own line. They'll be in low-risk plays here.
Go.
Just looking to dominate the Whitehaven side and make them work a bit. As I said, plenty of movement.
As well, what they're doing though, Barry, early on they seem to be getting in the first tackle 1, tackle 2, they're getting the fast lads in, aren't they? And then Stapleton's coming, then Luluai is coming.
Robbie Paul, one-handed pickup, then finds Paul White.
5 on last. Work harder, mate.
Jordan Turner plays the ball. Alka with a little kick down the sideline, straight into the arms of Calvert.
They need to find some green, they need to find some space and put the ball on the floor, although that's an excellent kick chase. Malcolm Alka making up for a mediocre kick with a great kick chase. Well done, Malcolm.
We had a fantastic reserve grade game before this one, which just ended up in Salford's favour. The story of that from Ben Pro now.
That's right, Bill. If Whitehaven needed any extra motivation for this one, it was in that reserve grade game earlier. They were 13-12 up with 81 minutes on the scoreboard here at the Willows, but a try from Johnny Campbell won it for Salford in the 82nd minute, so they've got a score to settle.
It was a thrilling finish to that, and the Haven players were heartbroken to see that Salford try go in right at the death, but they put up a great performance. Here is Paul White.
Whitehaven have made 2 changes in the forwards. Jackson and MacDonald have come off. Edmondson and Fatilofa, the New Zealander, have come on.
See the difference in the kicks there, don't you, Bill? Look at that. By just find the space and kick into the corner, the pressure now, the Whitehaven could put on Salford, and there it is, the pressure.
Gardner is
dropping
furious at that.
It was a stray knee from one of the Whitehaven players that dislodged the ball. But Matt Gardner can have no complaints. He needs to control that ball.
Tight heads.
It's up to him to keep hold of it, not the other way around.
Cunning knee in there perhaps, but Matt Gardner adjudged to have knocked on, and Whitehaven with a great position here now to test this Salford City Reds defence, and it's Spencer Miller doing a good job of that. Littler having to make the tackle. And here's Sia McKesey. He'll try and take him on, gets the ball out to Calvert. Calvert, I think, just in touch.
And involved.
But they were offside.
Number 12.
Salford were offside, and Whitehaven will get the penalty, so they're still in a great position.
What a skillful piece of play there from McKesey. Just delicate little left arm flick. Freed his winger. Excellent skill.
So 16 minutes gone, no score. Salford in a great position here. Calvert going very close. Can they get closer now with Fatia Lofa?
Tackle one. Move.
Just a couple of metres away from the try line. Another big strong run there over the try line with Edmondson, but Edmondson is held up there. And that is two big guys to send on for Jed Stokes, Fatia Lofa and Edmondson. Edmondson, the adopted Kiwi. Fatia Lofa, the former junior Kiwi. So Haven, the tackle count continues. The ball with Howard Hill. Hill heading for the touchline, but managing to stay in the field of play. And it's Salford's turn to defend their line. Rob Jackson now. Edmondson. Edmondson finds Carl Rudd. Rudd, three men in the tackle for Salford.
2 feet. Last. Go.
Seiss looks left, goes right, puts the little grubber kick in. Oh, then knock on from Robbie Paul, I think it'll be. It was. And Haven will get head and feet again, and
Whitehaven.
he's furious with
A
himself.
lovely little kick from Carl Seiss out from dummy half. Robbie Paul, he needs to catch the ball. Have a look at the players coming up. What a piece of skill this is here. Left arm, fantastic. Robbie Paul, Andy, I think with a better body angle, Carl Edmondson may well have found the line there. On the line is a try.
Well, having really been under the cosh early on, Whitehaven have dominated things in the last few minutes. They've come close twice, and they're on the attack again with Leroy Joe. Jackson going left. Spencer Miller brought down just short of the try line. Simon Kesey is there. Seiss is tackled. They've lost ground of Whitehaven. Carl Rudd now. Rudd running across the field, pops the ball up for Howard Hill, and another
Offside
penalty
again
against Salford. Offside once again.
A lot of pressure on this Salford side. It's Ian Sibbott who gives away the penalty that time.
Well, they've decided to go for two. Was that a good choice? I mean, they've really got them on the back foot. Surely they should turn the screw now.
They have been putting the pressure on them, haven't they? But it's better to come away with 2 points and really just get back into the game, keep in the game and keep just marching Salford down behind into their own half and see what Salford can do, because they're never normally under pressure, are they? Salford this year have been blowing teams away, but they're in a bit of an arm wrestle there, aren't they, Barry?
I agree with Bill. Me, I would have turned the screw, looked to keep the pressure on the Salford side. Maybe the amount of tackles would at some point force the Salford team to break, but nevertheless, Whitehaven with an attempted goal kick.
Carl Rudd straight between the posts, and they do have points on the board. And a promising phase of the game for Whitehaven after Salford enjoyed the better. It was certainly the possession early on. They didn't threaten that much on the Haven line, but it's been all Haven for the last 5-10 minutes.
You would, Bill, you'd take the 2 points all day there, and they get the ball back here, they march back upfield, they come up again with a good kick chases, where the pressure that were Gardner sneakily the ball was knocked out, but this is where Whitehaven have been playing really strong. The forwards have been doing the hard graft up the middle of the pitch, and Carl Rudd's been leading his troops around, and the kicking game from Whitehaven in this first 20 minutes has been exceptional.
So Jordan Turner with the restart, and here's Leroy Joe. And Jed Stokes, who you saw there a moment ago, be pleased with the way his side have handled the first quarter of this game. Now here's Edmondson. Played for Waitakere in New Zealand, and then was recommended to Whitehaven by Stan Martin, their former coach. And even after all these years, Stan Martin having an influence with a number of the players out there, his recommendation, or certainly the club being tipped off by him about them. Here's Broadbent straight down the middle.
The old mousetrap move then. Carl Seiss went to pick the ball up, and Gary Broadbent behind him picked it up. Love that play, mate.
Seiss Rudd. It's a strong kick, and Adebisi will chase it, and he might have the legs of White. Oh! Almost got there.
He said he was offside.
In fact,
I don't need to, mate. He's that far off. It don't matter.
He showed some toe, I'll tell you. It's an interesting race between those two. Let's have a see. The white line, we can't quite see it there, but unless he's learned to sprint 8 metres in 0.3 of a second, he quite possibly offside.
but the pace of Adebisi a threat, the pace of Calvert obviously a threat. There's Adebisi, they call him the London Flyer. He's come the long way round from London via Featherstone and Hull.
Just going back to your Stan Martin comments, Whitehaven and all of the Cumbrian clubs have all got strong Kiwi connections. The lifestyle and obviously the greenery suits the Kiwis. They really enjoy the time up there.
There'll be more philosophy available from Mr. McDermott in Whitehaven tomorrow night, in fact. Is that not right?
Maybe.
It's Whitehaven in possession at the moment with Calvert. Nice little step from Calvert to wrong foot. Myler it was.
Myler showing plenty of enthusiasm, but probably should have kept with his kick chase team. He came out the line, and that's why I think it was Gary. No, it wasn't Gary Broadbent. It's why the Whitehaven player beat him with footwork.
Here's Fatih Alofa. Oh, he offloads them straight into the arms of Sibbett, who was just loitering with intent, and Salford have it back for the first time in some time now. They're in possession. Here is Littler, and what's the chances of Salford having endured all that pressure now getting the first try of the game? The crowd trying to lift them, certainly. Alker is in possession. He's tackled about 20 metres out. Robbie Paul, here's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick comes back in field, across the field, and is tackled by Howard Hill. Hill pins him to the ground. They come down the short side again. Sibbett.
10 metres. 10 metres.
Referee Hicks getting Haven virtually back on their own try line. That's gone backwards from Luluai, says the referee. But it's the fifth tackle. And here's Myler. Myler, crossfield kick, looking for Calvert. The chase is there, well taken by Calvert. Under pressure he was from Daly Williams and from Littler. But he kept his eye on the ball, and he kept his nerve, and McKesey offloads courageously there.
That's bravery, that, Bill, isn't it? Jumping up for the ball there when you've got two men in the corner competing and contesting for that ball that you're taking. I'm sure Fatih Alofa now will just try and get up pitch. Look at that.
That's Myler's best kick of the day. The Salford players looking to compete for that kick. His general kicks and his general play kicks need to be a little bit better.
That's
a
big,
good
strong run.
It is Edmondson. He is a bulky figure, Carl Edmondson.
Lee Jewett and Jordan Turner, two ex-Waterhead players, made that tackle. My old club.
Paul White running that ball back.
Tackle one. Stand, Howard.
He's tackled by Howard Hill. Then it's with Matt Gardner.
Got to give him space, Howard. 2.
Gardner almost up to the 40 for the Salford City Reds. Plays the ball, and here's Paul Heighton off the bench for the Reds.
You know, the first 5 minutes that when Salford were playing and everything seemed to be all sweet and hunky-dory, they were trying to play around this Whitehaven side, but now as things are going against them...
They're not going against them now. Gardner almost through. Needed a good tackle from Jackson. Robbie Paul, little stuttering run from Robbie Paul. He's tackled about 15 metres out. It's the fifth tackle.
He's having a growing influence. One of those outrageous dummies of his from dummy half.
Myler changes direction with the kick, but Broadbent read that one.
Everyone was saying there about it. They look frustrated though, don't they? They were looking to play more rugby in the first 5-10 minutes, whereas now they're taking the one-up carries. Whether or not it's because what Whitehaven are doing when they've got ball in hand. That was a clever kick there, wasn't it? But Gary Broadbent there, just total aware of everything that was happening. Good change of direction.
It was a lovely banana kick. Gary Broadbent famous for his positional play, but you're right, Tez. You know, as a player, nearly breaking the middle there. You know, as a player, when you take the pitch before the whistle, you've got the coach's wishes in your mind, in your heart. When you get out there and things start going differently, you start thinking for yourself.
It was a good run from Mattinson that's been the platform for this attack from Haven, and they're just inside the Reds 40. It's going to be the kick, is it, from Rudd? It is. It's another one for Adebisi to chase, but that is going to stand up, and Adebisi making the chase.
He did well.
Tackle one.
He did ever so well then, Paul White.
He did. He got out of trouble then with Adebisi closing down on him.
I always think to myself with wingers, when the ball's on the floor, hurry to the ball, then assess. I felt he probably meandered and took his time to get to the ball, expecting it to roll dead.
There's another good kick from Rudd, and I think Paul White was anticipating that one would keep going, but he just sat still.
And it's interesting, every time Rudd gets the ball, he's always kicking at Paul White.
And here is Jordan Turner, just over the 40-metre line. That's the 5th tackle. Robbie Paul now, and he kicks. That one spins back, and Calvert, should I, shouldn't I, just for a moment, and he did.
That's Salford's best kick, I think. Good positional kick. Good defensive line, all set, ready to put some pressure on.
10 metres.
But at the moment it's Whitehaven who lead here at the Willows by 2 points to 0. Just that penalty from Rudd separating the two sides.
Come on.
Rob Jackson plays the ball now with Scott McAvoy.
Move 10 metres.
McAvoy, a trialist at Wigan Warriors a few years ago before taking up a contract at Whitehaven. And the ball's come free, and it's been
good feet.
That's a high shot.
Not much in that, I feel.
What a debut from Andy Gorski. Just on the pitch, having signed from Halifax, and his first contribution is the high tackle, and a telling off. Well, obviously keen to make an impact, and he's done that.
Jordan Turner makes the break, passes it to Richie Myler, who shows great agility, and just a lunging arm there from Gorski, nothing in that.
But again,
loose offload.
Fatty loafer again, wasn't it, Barry? Second offload that he's come up with. Normally a man that you look to, but doesn't need to come up with errors like that.
Here is Jordan Turner again. Andy Gorski on in place of Howard Hill. Began his career at Salford, Gorski did. Here's Myler. Robbie Paul now. Again, having to check. And the tackle is completed on that Whitehaven 10-metre line. Here's Sibbett. Sibbett taking him on. Broadbent on his own try line, marshalling the Haven troops as Alka finds Myler. Myler will take them on himself, straight up the middle and reaching out for the try. First try of the game goes to the 17-year-old Richie Myler. Decked a few moments ago by Gorski's high tackle, back on his feet and popping up with that try. His 7th of the season. And no wonder this kid is making the Super League clubs sit up and take notice.
That's what footwork does to you. Here's the penalty that's put Salford in good field position. But there looks to be nothing on here. The ball goes back 10 metres. And again, when players have got good agility, you start to question yourself. You overcompensate when you're a defender. Puts the ball down. Right foot step. 2 missed tackles and carries 2 men over.
So Richie Myler did that against Wakefield in the Challenge Cup to create a try for Malcolm Alka. Well, this time he finished it off himself. Now it's Jordan Turner who's kicking. As the teams were walking back, everybody was walking back and nobody was preparing to take the goal kick. And of course, with Andy Ballard out of the side, I think they'd overlooked the fact that they needed a goal kicker. Well, they've got one. It's Jordan Turner adding the 2 points, and Salford ahead by 6 points to 2.
And that's probably why Hull in the Super League are probably chasing this lad. 17-year-old talent. He's shown last week. He's got no respect for anyone. Look at it, just carries the ball to the line, steps off 4 feet, and the strength there to keep Edmonton off to dive over. But that error there's come from Fatty Loafer trying to offload the ball again.
They do have some youthful talent here. Myler with the try, he's 17. Turner with the conversion, he's 19.
If I was a Salford fan, Bill, that would be the pleasing thing about this Salford side these days. Lee Jewett, another one. Just the production line that Salford have got here is as good as any other club.
Ryan McDonald is penalised. Good to see him back in action. He's had terrible luck with injury. Well, more precisely with a broken arm. He's broken, I think it's his right arm, 6 times in the last few years. And he's hoping that he's got all those behind him now.
He stopped swinging it, Bill, and he's got his discipline. Discipline correct, doesn't he? That's what he was saying.
Well, I think he still swings it now and then.
Move, 10 metres.
He's got it well. There's a big strapping on the right arm. It's a bit of a giveaway, really.
He'll give you everything he's got, Butch, though.
There
Player
he is
that
in the
plays
tackle.
with a lot of heart. I think he's just injured one of his own players now.
The ball picked up by Myler.
Shot.
A big hit from Simon McKeesey, but Adamson very quickly to his feet to play the ball, and then here's Jordan Turner now, and Salford just maybe stepping on the gas a little bit to consolidate their position, to take advantage of that try. Here's Adebisi under pressure, gets the kick safely pouched, and then makes a few more yards for his side.
First time that they've tested him tonight. Good, clever, and well taken by Adebisi. They're again under pressure. They just seem to have stepped it up, Bill. You're quite right. They look a lot more speed, a lot more energy that they seem to have around the ruck.
Mattinson, Calvert.
Lee Jewett there, just loitering around the back. They've learned a lesson. A couple of stray offloads from Whitehaven.
And there's Ryan McDonald is tackled just over his own 30-metre line.
Go. Robbie, hands out.
Mattinson, now here's Gorski.
5 and left.
Just trained with the side last night and straight into the team tonight.
Tremendous play the ball from Gorski there. Don't underestimate the benefit on the last tackle of a quick play of the ball. That's why Graham Mattinson had all the time in the world to look where he wanted to pick this. Going for territory.
Keep working, guys.
Whether it goes out or it stays in, everybody's onside, everybody's ready.
I'll give you what I see. Your 10s are good. Keep going.
Just over the half-hour mark then, and Salford ahead by 6 points to 2, and Whitehaven making it very tough for them.
One player we haven't seen too much of yet is Cal Fitzpatrick. He's a real spark player. He's one of the players on the pitch that can get you an 80-metre try.
But that though, there, Barry, you've got to credit what Whitehaven are doing, because they've not allowed him to get into the game, have they?
No.
Salford haven't been playing on the front foot. They haven't been coming up with big breaks, and that's where you'll see Cal Fitzpatrick.
Alka. Simon McKeesey could have been penalised there. Alka certainly thinks so. Here is Jordan Turner, runs straight into McKeesey and Ryan McDonald, who makes sure he doesn't go any further. Myler now. Lee Jewett over the halfway line for the Reds.
10 metres.
The ever-reliable Alka with the kick.
That's a good kick. What's the chase like?
Well, it's a bit leisurely at the moment.
As always, Malcolm's there. Jordan Turner just grabbing a legs tackle. He's worked really hard, Jordan Turner, attack and defence.
Let it go, let it go.
Got his shirt dirty today.
Calvert returned that ball strongly. Mattinson to his feet to play the ball. Edmondson.
10 metres, come on. Hold.
Haven just short of their own 40-metre line. Now Ryan McDonald, big burly prop forward.
Move. 10 metres, hold.
And plays the ball.
Okay.
The kick from Carl Rudd, straight down the middle of the field. Daly Williams, the head now strapped after that bang earlier on. Picks it up, runs it back, and then he's picked up and taken back.
Again, Whitehaven, good kick chase. They're very smart, very precise with their kicking game. Salford's a bit hit and miss. Stuart Littler looking to get his side on the front foot, going forward.
Brocklehurst now.
3 now, stand, Andy.
Tackled by Gorski. Jewett sizes up a target and then runs at it. It was Mattinson.
Andy, work out. Well done.
Here's Jordan Turner, and Turner is dumped to the ground by Spencer Miller.
Good work right in that.
Myler kicks down the line, and I think well, Calvert, I think, was going to let that one go, and then it stayed in the field of play. Maybe just took a little kick back into the field of play, and he was forced to pick it up, and so they're forced to do some work from deep now with Jackson.
And this is where Salford are strong, the way that they wrestle the players in the tackle, trying to turn them on the back.
Adebisi almost subject to a dangerous tackle there, but referee Hicks didn't see anything wrong with it.
Whitehaven at the minute, I think they look for that bit of energy. They need the speed men in there, like Salford have been doing. When the forwards are getting tired, you look for your speed men to get in there and come up with something. Again, Rudd kicking to Salford's right-hand side, changing his tactics. Not had much joy with Paul White.
So Daly Williams picks it up, scored a hat-trick in the reserve grade a couple of weeks ago, Daly Williams, against Oldham, justifying his inclusion ahead of Ballard tonight. So Salford ahead just by 6 points to 2 though. Whitehaven making them work very hard for every inch of ground. Whether Haven can sustain this energy level is the next question. Of course, you got the full-timers of Salford.
Good feet.
And here go the Reds now with Heighton, and Heighton has Myler in support. Myler trying to wrong foot Broadbent. Broadbent is furious with the referee. Myler in under the posts. I think Broadbent had to try and look round the referee, and he looks at Robert Hicks now as he walks past him, but the try is awarded, and it's a second try for young Richie Myler, taking his tally for the season to 8 now.
It's Robbie Paul who makes this try, comes out to the right, great step. Paul Heighton probably where he shouldn't be. Does he have the gas? No, I'll give it to somebody quicker. Richie Myler, good pace. Again, Robbie Paul, that's the quality of this bloke. His core skills are fantastic. And a front row forward lays the ball off to a much quicker player, Richie Myler. Doesn't he like that? His side really needed that try.
Myler then getting number 2, and I don't think Gary Broadbent really had much to complain about then, because Myler was away and clear and heading for the try line. So Jordan Turner, another one for him, bang in front of the post, another 2 points, and Salford ahead by 12 points to 2 now, and just starting maybe to assert their authority here.
And what that's coming from, Bill, is just that the strength and the speed that Salford have of playing this ball seem to get up, and you can't give Robbie Paul any momentum going forward. Gorski there caught, McDonald not committed, Paul Heighton hitting a great hole there. And look at Richie Myler, probably give it too early there, but the great step there, wasn't it? Gary Broadbent just chasing, just couldn't change his angle. And he stepped up well to the mark, and Richie Myler come up with some poor real kicks in the first half, but ball in hand, he's been tremendous.
Fitzpatrick underneath the restart. Here is Heighton in his testimonial year.
That's one. Move! Hold. Don't pull his leg.
Plays the ball. So Robbie Paul, 32 years old, but still has a full bag of tricks out there, and that one really wrong-footed Whitehaven.
That's a nice mix, that. Malcolm Alka, Robbie Paul, both mixing it up. If you're a Whitehaven player looking at those two plays, you know that they're both very good, very clever. Makes your day a difficult day. The energy levels of the Whitehaven side just probably a little bit low there. Looking towards the half-time, want to get in, sit down, discuss things. Salford just want to kick on.
The kick from Alka, Broadbent having to retrieve that one in his own in-goal area, and then the chase is good. There's a red wall there to face him.
Malcolm Alka again, he does that time after time.
Well, of course, he's the man who made 1,000 tackles in a Super League season once, Malcolm Alka. 1,000 plus in actual fact.
In a season?
Yeah.
Some people I know, not too far away from me, didn't do that in a career.
Dear me. Well, Malcolm Alka certainly has done it.
Come on, 10 metres, Robbie.
Jed Stokes with a bit to think about there then. Good, certainly a good first half hour from his side, but just in the closing minutes of this first half.
He is, Bill. He's probably thinking, what direction can I give the lads? They started off really strong, very disciplined side. Good kick chase there by Carl Rudd.
And Rudd is still chasing it and getting it, almost getting it, and Robbie Paul picking it up. The hooter is sounded, so he kicks ahead. Gardner is chasing. Gardner and Jackson are chasing. Adebisi will get there first.
He's running the wrong way.
He'll head for the touchline, I think.